Anyway, we're going to do all that. We got polling data from the Washington Post that not everybody, a lot of people are missing. A short segment here because I went over my time limit in the original segment. I just want to add one little tidbit to the Washington Post ABC News poll that they ran on Trump and the election and what would happen if you do it again. In the rerun, if the election were held today, not only would Trump win 43-40 or 46-30, one of the two, Trump would win the popular vote. If the election were held, and this book on the Hillary campaign, folks, it is so bad, this campaign and this candidate and the Clintons. It is so bad, even New York magazines are begging the Clintons to just take Chelsea home and go away. Now, to the polling data on Trump, because the drive-bys are going just gaga over this, and there's things in it that actually are very depressing and disappointing to them. For example, Washington Post poll. You have to dig deep to find this. They do not highlight it. It's an ABC Washington Post poll. Washington Post doesn't highlight this. The ABC reporting doesn't highlight this. What they're claiming that their poll shows is that Donald Trump is the least popular president in modern times. That's the lead. That's the focus. Trump's approval number, all-time low, modern times, new president, end of 100-day honeymoon, blah, blah, blah. You have to read all the way to the second to last paragraph to learn that Donald Trump, with the lowest approval ratings and the highest unpopularity in the modern era, would still beat Hillary Clinton if the election were held today. And not just the Electoral College, he would win the popular vote. Second to last paragraph of a long story that it's shown that Clinton would still lose, despite high disapproval ratings and problems with his first 100 days, detailed by the paper. It says the new survey finds 46% saying they voted for Clinton, 43% said they voted for Trump. And that might be fairly close to accurate if you acknowledge that these polling results represent the popular vote back in November. And that's similar to Hillary's 2-point national vote margin in the actual election. Asked how, the same respondents, it was 1,004 people, asked how they would vote if the election were held today. 43% said they would vote Trump. 40% said they would vote Clinton. Jonathan Karl of ABC News was so disturbed by this that he tweeted, according to our poll, among 2016 voters, Trump would beat Hillary in a rematch in the popular vote, no less. They can't believe it. You know why they can't? They think they're this close to destroying Trump. Look at what they've done. Look at the multi-billions of dollars arrayed against Trump every day in the form of news coverage. If the Democrat Party had to go buy the amount of negative reporting on Donald Trump, it would reach into the tens of billions of dollars. A full 93% of reporting in the drive-by media has been unfavorable to Trump. And still, he would trounce Hillary again if the election were held today. Here's another thing buried in this poll that you have to dig deep to find. 67% of Americans say the Democrat Party is out of touch with their concerns. You remember in 2012, the exit poll from that election, the 5 o'clock wave, when I saw that, knew it was over. There was a question on the exit poll of voters, and it something along the lines of, cares about people like me. Obama won that 89-11 over Romney. And then I saw another question that 60% still blame Bush for the economy. I knew it was over. Well, this is quite a plunge. When you have, in 2012, people acknowledging that the Democrat Party is in touch with them and understands their needs and cares about people like them, to now 67% think the Democrat Party is out of touch. The Republican Party, it's around 53. Don't misunderstand. Both parties are in the 30s in terms of in touch, care about me. But the Democrat Party is where the gigantic plunge has taken place here. 67% say the Democrats are out of touch with their concerns. And again, you have to dig deep to find this. And the same poll. New polls show low approval numbers for Trump, but almost no regrets among his voters. Despite all the questions about whether many of Trump's voters have buyer's remorse, only 2% of the people said they voted for president regret their decision. You know how you know this is true? If there were even some regret, that's all we'd be seeing in the media. Every panel show in prime time on MSNBC and CNN would feature panels of disappointed, angry Trump voters. They can't find them. Only 2% have any regrets. Remember, this is the group of people that continues to prop Trump up. By the way, Trump I was shocked when I saw this. He sat down with Julie Pace, who is the Commie Babe reporter for the AP. He sat down in an expansive interview, a long interview with her. And you know what? When you read these things, I've always said, and I've always told people that you need to know how to listen to Trump. I do. There is nobody in American media who understands Donald Trump and can explain Donald Trump better than your host, the Maharishi. And I'm telling you, she thought she was nailing him on a question about the Chinese no longer being currency manipulators. She really thought she was going to expose him as a hypocrite and saying things he doesn't mean. So she raises the question, how come the Chinese are not currency manipulators? I mean, 2 weeks ago they were horrible. All during your campaign they were horrible. Now you're saying they're not currency manipulators. And his answer just blows her out of the water. And it's exactly what I told you his answer would be last week. And the interview is filled with things when you read it. This is pretty smart. This is actually very clever. And you get the impression that in this case Julie Pace is unable to keep up. And I think this is what Trump voters and supporters instinctively know about the guy. They respect what they consider to be his intelligence. They respect what they consider to be his devotion to them and what he believes. Trump is in a little bit of trouble. He talked to an International Space Station female astronaut. And she mentioned to him that they're working on a process to transform urine into pure drinking water. And Trump said, well, better you than me. And the Twitter sphere is just outraged at Trump insensitivity and mean-spiritedness and reluctance to encourage her. And he was telling a joke. And they don't get it. And when it comes to sense of humor, they don't have one. Look, I'm way long. Got to take a break. Back with more after this. Sit tight.